Geographers love landscapes. They observe it, describe it, and after they have observed it, they have to map it, to do a drawing, a mapping drawing of it. But in those landscapes, we don't see the past changes. We don't see the trace of history, how it was before. Never, or almost never. And this is a real pity because this would, with this we would miss a part of the history. If we remember the transformation through times, it would tell us a lot on how citizens, for example, are put in situations where very often they don't choose to be. They probably didn't want to be. And they do not have the choice, actually, because someone, an invisible hand, is planning for us without consulting us. I want to tell you tonight a story. And this is a story on how airport terminals, this example, are lately transformed and renovated, and how the maps try to make visible what is this invisible transformation to the eyes, to our eyes. A few years ago, I went to the Kristiansand airport, not too far from here, in South Norway, and arrived on the tarmac. I saw my 2-year son walking in a very silly way, like that. And it took me time to understand that he had filled his pocket with sweets on one side and a very heavy bottle of perfume on the other side, without me seeing it. How come this kid could have been stealing this from the duty-free shop? Because parents hate duty-free shop. We never go to duty-free shop. We forbid kids to go there, but he went through the duty-free shop. In fact, he was obliged to go there because all travelers were obliged to go there. This is the beginning of the story. How this can be shown on map through times. At the beginning, it was very easy. This image represents the airport terminal in the late 90s. It was very open, very free. You see this green, blue area very open. You just enter, you walk, and you embark your gate. And if you want to buy a souvenir or eventually a bottle of wine, you have a very tiny little shop. It's red in this image. And you have the choice to go there. 15 years later, this has changed. Security, fragmentation. You go through the terminal. It's very difficult and complicated. You have to go through a long process of security control, and then go to the public area, and then go through the duty-free shops to embark your gate for international flights. You don't have the choice, and you go to the cashier. This is the small black square there, and you have to say, no, I have not purchased anything to your shop, I'm sorry. And you feel, of course, guilty when you enter a shop without shopping anything. You have to feel guilty. This is a marketing trick, isn't it? These transformations are invisible to the eyes for most of us because we just don't remember. We do not have the memory. We do not remember how it was before. And these sets of maps aims to refresh our memories so that we are aware of what's happening. And this gives you a tool, this gives us a tool to eventually fight against, if it's possible. Fight against, because authority are by definition authoritarian, so it's very difficult to fight against authorities, which in an airport are especially very authoritarian. But this strategy has been implemented almost everywhere. I will give you a few examples. And of course, sometimes in a much more brutal way, as you will see. Let's go first to Oslo, little European tour. And here in Oslo was an ongoing process that we could call massive attack. That was in 2005. A very nice airport, very open, very warmly, very welcoming. But this space was useless. Thus, the passengers, they could sit, they could relax, they could even sleep. But is this really necessary that passengers sit when they're waiting for the flight? No. This space was used. So what has happened in 2006? They have a little bit enlarged the duty-free shop. And as you have seen, they have switched here the entry. And it was very nice to the passengers because they just wanted to make the way to the shop a little bit shorter than if it was there. And to make sure they go in the shop, they have put the trolleys here so that they would be prevented to go to the public space here. But this public space was still far too large, far too visible from here. So what they did in 2007, they enlarged the shop a little bit more. Not very much more, but a little bit more. For making the best of the space, but the worst for your wallet. In other words, this is a pure action of colonization. Colonization of public space by private space and economic interests, pure capitalism. Without this vertical approach, this historical approach, you wouldn't remember, you would know how it was. And today, most of the passengers find totally normal to walk through 200 meters of a duty-free shop among shelves with alcohol, cigarettes. Smoking kills, used sperm will degrade. Perfume, goods, etc. And they find it totally normal, and they go to the cashier to say, I've bought a little piece of chocolate because I don't want to feel too guilty enter a shop with all these things proposed to me because you have been offered vodka, etc., etc. And then you reach your gate. Let's go to Berlin, Berlin-Schönefeld. How it was before, simple. Security check, corridor, few steps, corridor. And here, a door. And you go to the embarking gate. Far too easy, lot of space, same story, unprofitable. So the idea was to build a duty-free shop, to close the door here, and to transport you through, again, 200 meters of a duty-free shop. We are in Germany, we are not even in Norway. And Stockholm Arlanda Airport. Are they as cynical, are they as perverse as in Norway and Germany? Before, very easy, control, security, go to gate. A lot of space, empty space. What you do with it? A duty-free shop. 200 meters to the cashier, here my bottle of vodka, I pay, and I go to gate. But here, this door is closed. Let's finish this European tour by the airport of Bergen, where they have implemented a very lovely snail, we could call it the snail approach. You access the terminal and you go to the security check. And then you're here. Yeah, you are walking to the domestic area, 100 meters. You go to the duty-free shop and you cannot come back. And then you go to the duty-free shop, 200 meters. And you run international, and you catch your flight to London here. And here, you have a big glass and it's closed. And there is 3 meters between here and here. Why that? And why not this? All this has a reason. I wonder if at this age, what we call ultra-capitalism, they really need to make even more cash, although they already have a lot of cash. But why so violently robbing all passengers before they embark a plane by forcing them in a shop? Before, the approach was shop, public space corridor where you can walk freely, and embarking gate. And then the passengers went to the goods. But today, unfortunately, that's the goods that goes to passenger. This is how it is. Principle is invading public corridors so that the passengers can come to the goods and shop even more. And just in case you as a passenger wouldn't understand it so well, they put large advertisements. Here we are in Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, just to make sure you remember where you are and precisely what you have to do. Huh? And you see this curve is the same as the one that is being implemented in the Brussels airport. So, airport or shopping, shopping or airport. You see, it's the same. London, Amsterdam, Brussels. There is many other. You are likely to find out that these airport terminals looks like everything but the terminal airport. And this is part of the strategy. And I could call it fusion confusion, where all the signs are alike: shopping, airport, toilet, directions to the gate, and the sign indicating where is the shop selling cigars and wine. You are not invited to a travel experience anymore. This is finished. You are doing a shopping experiment. You enter an era of diversion. You have desire and need, and all the things is to transport people to have the ability shopping. And shopping is the real reason for traveling by train, by plane, sorry. But it's the same in the railway station. The railway station will become exactly like the airport, actually. Now, if you ask, where is my gate? It's most likely that you'll be answered, well, it's hidden there behind the chocolate shop. So, in this world of fusion confusion, Everything is put together. You know, traveling is just the alibi. Really, the real reason you travel is to shop. People in Christiansand, they scream when they go to the luggage place and they missed at the arrival the duty-free shop, and they come and they beg, let me to the duty-free shop so that I can buy my 2 bottles of wine. The rules in Norway are the rules. You're not allowed to come back, unfortunately. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this world of fusion and confusion, welcome to the circus. Thank you.